and the X-Men. He immediately saw the comic book potential in Bruce Lee.
You might say he was a superhero without a costume, and his superpower was really his agility and the fact that he fought in a way that we were not used to seeing.
A year after Enter the Dragon was released, Marvel Comics created the character Iron Fist, based on Bruce Lee. Further Bruce Lee-inspired characters followed, including Shang-Chi and the Hands of Kung Fu.
I'm quite sure we would not have done that book had there not been a Bruce Lee. I think that any character who in any way was a martial artist, you'd have to say that they owed their origin in some way to Bruce Lee, because he was the first one to make Westerners aware of that type of fighting and that type of a way of life.
With the advent of video games in the 1980s, designers were quick to pick up on the same characteristics that had made Bruce Lee translate so well into comics. In 1984, the Bruce Lee video game was released, followed by a slew of others. These included Dragon, the Bruce Lee story, and Bruce Lee, Quest of the Dragon, as well as numerous other games which took their inspiration from the king of martial arts.
Be water, my friend.
One thing we could definitely give Bruce Lee credit for is his inspiration into the martial art video games. You will notice that there's not one martial art video game that doesn't have a Bruce Lee character in it. If you even go back to the Street Fighter series or to Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat was one of the biggest arcade games to come out, and who they got? The guy Lee Kwan, looking just like Bruce Lee, bouncing on his feet, looking like Bruce Lee.
Ralph LeMench is a senior games producer at the telecommunications giant Nokia. When the company wanted to develop a martial arts-inspired video game for their Engage platform, they turned to Ralph.
I loved Bruce Lee. That was the inspiration for the whole thing. I wanted always to do a martial arts game because I want to do something Bruce Lee-like.
But translating Bruce Lee's dynamism and fighting style into a game is no mean feat. To get the most realistic fighting simulation possible, Ralph decided to use a technique called motion capture, where human movement is filmed, then digitally recreated. After an extensive search, Ralph found the man he thought best captured Bruce Lee's speed and fighting style, a Jeet Kune Do instructor from Glasgow, named Tommy Carruthers.
And he's just Jeet Kune Do guy around the world. I mean, his speed, his power, and his precision, it's just unmatched. I just love looking what he does, you know.
And we shot, I think, 7 days, motion capture. We done all the footwork, punches and kicks, and we done the stunt work and fight choreographer, which was pretty hard work and pretty good, exciting, and something different. I've never done anything like that before.
The characteristics that have made Bruce Lee translate well into video games and comics have also been a gift to advertisers.
Partly because he was smart enough when he was alive to actually create aspects of his screen persona that are so identifiably Bruce Lee. You don't even need the name Bruce Lee. You don't even need to hear his voice to think, oh, that's Bruce Lee.
And with this instant recognition comes a set of values that people associate with Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee defines Kung Fu. If you want to reference sort of strength and sleekness and speed and power, Bruce Lee is shorthand for all of those things.
What they're trying to sell is an image of perfection. Right, here's a guy who's really good at what he does, so my product is that good. So I can understand what they're doing.
The Bruce Lee brand can represent many things. There are many characteristics that